Hello, loves. How are you? So, I've been guided to dive deeper into the topic that came up yesterday around this new pocket of energy that wants to open up in the shared space for the new beginning between the masculine and feminine collectives. I have this intuition that it's clearly the internal union energies deeply as well, of course. That's where so much of this begins. But I was guided to come on here and do it because what I'm being shown is that it's something like a whole new perspective that I'm not even fully aware of yet. And so I'm going to do it real time here with you guys. And I was also shown to have a notebook ready because we're going to do this here on YouTube, but then I'm guided to do an extended and to go deeper into the topic over on Patreon. So we're going to see how this plays out. And you are all going to be a part of my creation process as always, but let's see what we have. I'm asking, of course, to bring in the highest messages for all of you that are here with me or who will watch this, who will meet me very soon. And I trust if you're here, it's because your highest self most certainly guided you to be here and be present for these messages. There is the energy and the essence around the importance of our sexual energy and learning to harness it, wield it, and work with it in a way that is so much more than just the 3D physical sexual connection action, but learning to harness it and use it for your own life force, for your creations, for your healing, your health, and your well being, for learning to harness and wield your power. Your sexual energy is your spiritual energy, is your life force energy in essence. Okay, loves. And I feel deeply the way that I'm guided is that this all intersects with our ability to move more deeply into sustaining our life force and moving into those 5D and higher essences of the agelessness energy and essence. And this is all sort of dancing together where all of these pieces of the puzzle work together. I'm sure that there's more than what I'm speaking about right now, but these are the ones that are sort of floating around and wanting to come together. Last year, I did record an ageless session, and that's available on my site. So I'm going to drop that in the pinned comment for you, for any of you who might be interested in checking that out in the meantime. But we're going to roll into the deepening connection between our health, our well being, agelessness, and our sexual creative life force. And this is important because it's not something that we're often taught about or to look at in this way. And I believe that they're all deeply connected. And I'm also guided to touch on the fact that we talk a lot about the counterparts and how the feminine is very usually synonymous and more into the intuitive and the higher chakras, and the masculine is more synonymous with the lower chakras and the physical world. And the heart space is where the two meet up, right? The where the heaven and the earth meet up is the heart space. It's also, on our right side is our masculine, our left side is our feminine. Those also meet in the heart space. If you guys look at my Harmonious Hearts logo, when I originally painted it back in 2016, I was guided by my higher self to paint it in that essence and energy of harmony and the four directions, the heaven and earth, and the masculine and the feminine, obviously north, south, east, and west. But it also is synonymous with the air and the fire and the water and the earth. There's a lot of symbolism and energy and essence within this symbol and the name that I was given around harmonious hearts. And that is why I focus on those energies and essences, because it's where we meet in the middle within ourselves, but also where we meet in the middle between the masculine and feminine collectives, right? Where we meet in the heart space. It's where we're honoring all of those parts of ourselves, where we're honoring the masculine and the feminine, the heaven and the earth, and the physical and the spiritual, and meeting into the heart space. And the sexual energies and the spiritual energies, like I've said, when they're moving through our core, through our chakras, and we're aligning them and working with that essence throughout our entire system, that ramps up the life force and your creative essences. All right. And I know there's more that wants to go into this. So I think this is maybe part of the Patreon where I'll speak deeper about working with those energies. Okay. So thanks for rolling with me on that. Okay. Let's go into what the masculines would like to share around meeting in the heart space. And then we're going to also connect it with the tarot around the sexual energies, the life force energies, and what the masculines would like us to know around this, how we can harness and work with our energies deeper. And then I think we'll do the same on the feminine side. So, stars in the sky, limitless possibilities. Wow. Okay. So, wow, this is just unbelievable. So the masculines are acknowledging the importance of the sexual energy and how it fuels, and it's such an important embodied part of our limitless possibilities. Okay. So at a soul level, at our spiritual level, we are limitless, right? It's our physical bodies that actually begin to give us limitations. But at the same time, the more and more of our higher essence we embody, the less limitation we have in our physical system. But also, like I spoke about, I think last week, where our body is a vessel, but then as we learn how to work with our own portal of creation, our own pillar of creation from our highest source, our direct connection, and into the earth, we expand our capacity as beings to harness more of our spiritual power beyond what we use to fuel and enliven and empower our physical vessel. Okay. And learning to harness more and more of this power is where we can work with bringing in that limitless potential and possibility into the physical world. And I love this because the masculines then said, it's like planting the seeds. This is bringing it into physicality. It's like taking those higher power essences, allowing them, yes, to birth through your body as a physical vessel, but also, well, yes, that touches on the spiritual pregnancy video I did a couple weeks ago. I'll drop that in the pinned comment for you as well, that many of the feminines have been experiencing. And I feel like this is why these topics are really ripening and coming to the surface more quickly, because we're also being called to deepen our understanding as co-creators with our highest power, deepening into our ability to consciously create our lives and becoming those clear, pure vessels for highest alignment and the highest timelines and the highest potential for ourselves, but also planting the seeds for the highest potential for Earth and for humanity, not in a way that is forceful, but in a way that is simply bringing in that higher information into Earth's living library so that it's available for those who are ready to connect with that. Okay. Gorgeous, beautiful energies. Thank you, masculines, for bringing that through. Wow. Okay. And now we're going to do the same for the feminine side. What would the feminines like us to know about the deepening of this life force energy and the sexual energy? We have wisdom, joy, learning, art, music. I am getting chills, guys. So the feminines are acknowledging that as they've been embodying more of that higher essence into physicality, right? Like bringing those intuitive higher essences into the physical body, it's allowing it's allowing us to be more present with our creations and be more present with our true life force and power. And the feminines are in this process of deepening into this and wanting to share this with the masculines to keep going with what they're opening up to, with this realization that as they harness their higher power and their higher essence, and they allow themselves to open up to all of who they are and ground that into the physical, they can more thoroughly begin to remember their true creative abilities, their joy, their laughter, their fun, and following their heart. So I love that there's been like a flip flop of the energies. And this is important because this is where the harmonization process has the opportunity to occur, not just in the energetics, but also in the physical world. Okay. And as the feminines are what's coming through is they're beginning to more deeply set this example of the internal union energies. Yes, her inner masculine and feminine are coming more and more into balance if she's embodying that more passionate, receptive feminine essence overall, right? Because she's feeling safe and stable within herself to do that. And it's allowing her to be more present in the physical world in her full feminine essence. And it's allowing her to establish her creations and her foundation in an entirely new way. She's also coupling it with the ways that we've known on this planet, of course, because she's living and being present. But as she's embodying and showing how much more versatile we actually are as souls, it's in bringing it into physicality and embodying into her physical lower chakras that that message from yesterday around embodying and opening into the sensual energies and the heart space in new and deeper ways is allowing these energies to expand and become more available for others to witness because it's not only in the higher chakras, she's bringing it into the physical world. Okay. So I want to get a few more messages around this. Let's see, what else do we got? Mhm. So from the masculine side, we got the world and the 5 of Cups. And to me, this is feeling like the masculines are in that process of connecting with that higher power and grounding it into the earth, bringing in the higher essences and looking at the shadows. They're in that process that many of us have been in and probably are still in some levels of, depending on where you are on the journey, um, where it's this dance of facing the shadows, bringing the light to the shadows. And what that does is when we look at those uncomfortable things and we allow those to process and clear out, it makes more room for this higher essence to come in. So essentially, the masculines are beginning to understand pulling in the higher energies and making more space for what they actually want to build. Okay. It's wow. So I'm seeing it. It's like the higher power is coming in. It's beginning to embody. You see, it's like where the downloads are coming. It's beginning to embody. And as the space is being made in the earth, the seeds are ready to plant and root and grow. Okay. So if you're a masculine here watching this, let me know if you've been working with a process like this or how you experience it, because I understand that, well, masculine or feminine, it may not come through for you in this exact way. This is very synonymous with the way that I understand and work with the energies. So I'm just curious to see how that might be coming through for any of you, if you feel guided to share. All right. And so, and with the feminines, with this wisdom learning and walking towards that new day, the feminines are holding the essence of this Four of Wands, which is essentially the union energies, the internal union and the creation energies being embodied and really bringing it into physicality, that alchemical marriage moving into the physical sacred union energies and essences. And the more I feel into this, the more deeply I can sense what's coming through for me right now. And I would love to hear from the masculines on this because obviously I'm not a masculine. What I'm sensing is where the feminines kind of went up and out and pulled in. What I'm sensing is the masculines are already stable on the earth. And because of where this energy has been open, the masculines are still very rooted and grounded on the earth. And they're able to just pull in, and the energies are sort of flooding to them. And it's allowing them to be more present in their physical day-to-day life. They may be hermiting and they may be taking time alone to process their downloads, but what I'm being shown is that they are not hermiting necessarily in the ways that the feminines hermited, where the feminines were like hermiting for like a couple of years and not even really interacting with much society. It feels like the masculines, their hermiting is in a different perspective, but a lot of their work is actually being very, very, it's prominent in the physical world. And as the feminines are deepening into her physical world, it's actually what I'm being shown in this very moment. This is why they said something new wanted to come through, is as the feminines are deepening into their physical form and their physical embodiment and living day to day and more present in the physical world, this is actually signaling that centripetal heart space harmonization, because they're both preparing to be more ready to meet in that heart space and that middle ground. But as the feminine drops into the physical, it's allowing the masculine to rise up into the higher chakras. But what I'm sensing is in the past, when this happened, say in the love bubble phase, the masculines felt very unstable and ungrounded and uncertain about the energies because it was so very new. But now the feminines are so much more stable in the physical. It's allowing the masculines to experience it without feeling the energies of instability. And what they're showing me right now is like the scales. So when the masculines and feminines come into that love bubble or the Helios Gamos, that initiation merging phase, they're sharing the information that each of them is holding. And it's such an opposite perspective sometimes. Yes, they have a lot in common, but they also have those extremes that they're holding. And so, like the scales, right? For my Libras out there, I'm a Libra too. The scales, instead of being more balanced or harmonious, get flipped and they go to the extremes. And so it feels very unstable because both counterparts have been pushed to the extreme of what their normal comfort zone is. But this is beautiful because it's showing them their true bandwidth and capacity of what they're actually capable of. Okay. And then as they work their initiation, it might even go where they flip-flop the other way for a while. Like if things are coming in and out or you're reharmonizing, and then it sort of goes into the other flip-flop, and then it's kind of going back and forth and up and down until the energies start to really stabilize, okay? And then as each counterpart stabilizes in whatever way they've been guided, they can more easily balance and harmonize with one another into the extremes without feeling unstable, okay? And what is coming through is that there's been a significant harmonization that has taken place, and now it's recalibrating into the heart space, which is allowing for the lower chakras to also be reharmonized so that more physical world connection will be able to be stabilized, okay? And if you're not in this right at this moment, that's quite all right. This is sort of a potential that could occur for you or with you or in your connection. Of course, each experience and each connection is very unique. So it doesn't mean it's going to exactly be this way, but it could be something for you to have an awareness around or to work with within your own energies and noticing your capacity and your ability to navigate extreme situations and at the same time maintaining your stability and sense of self within those experiences. And as you're witnessing that for yourself, it's going to give you an indication of where your connection probably is. And of course, you can always ask to share those results into the shared space, reharmonizing the connection to where you have evolved to now, releasing the old versions of yourself and your connection so that it can evolve and ascend to all of what you have learned now. Okay, loves. So this to me feels like this wave of the collective that connects with me here and is going through this very deep, gorgeous reharmonization process to stabilize the union energies more deeply into the physical world. We've talked about these energies of being able to sustain and maintain the incredible power and beauty of these connections. And to me, these messages are a signal and a sign that we are moving into this more deeply every single day. And as many of you may agree, to me, it's more about this being able to be stable and sustained in a very powerful way. Yes, for yourself as an individual. Yes, for your connection and a potential partnership. But we are here on the bigger collective mission, the precedence, the sometimes what takes center stage is actually stabilizing this for the planetary collective. Okay, loves, this is why we've been learning unconditional love and unity consciousness. Yes, it's about enjoying and building the life you want, but the bigger overall purpose is to become those pillars and those portals of stabilization for these codes and these unity consciousness ways of being to stabilize these essences for the entire planet and for our connection into the cosmos and into all of the dimensions, my loves. Okay. So let me know if you vibe with that, if you resonate with that. And I am going to go deeper into these messages over on Patreon. We're going to dive deeper into working with the life force and the sexual energies. I think actually I may dive into sharing some of the techniques that I've been shown to work with these energies. And I will let you know about that over on the community tab when that comes up. And if you would like to join there, I will also drop that Patreon information also in the pinned comment. And as always, you can find me at harmonioushearts.life and reach me at Danielle at harmonioushearts.life. and I will drop my schedule as well. Okay, my loves, I hope this was helpful. It's been a pleasure to bring through these very exciting messages as we move more deeply into our own true conscious creative abilities and grounding and stabilizing the unity consciousness energies. All right, loves, thank you so much for your presence here with me. I love you and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.